playoff hunt continues here in USL League One into the final match of Week 27. The Red Wolves, they are hungry. The Pack out to hunt that final playoff spot, but the Richmond Kickers here looking to spoil those hopes and dreams in tonight's match presented by Transcard Global FinTech Platform. I'm Chris Kovic here bringing you the action from David Stanton Field. Chattanooga and Richmond, a lot on the line for the Red Wolves, one of two teams battling for that fourth and final playoff spot, but adding to the intrigue tonight, both teams missing three key starters on the field. For Chattanooga, maybe the most key player overall between the two squads in Stephen Beatty. 9 goals this season along with 3 assists. He's been key all year for the success of Chattanooga, and including along with that the lone goal in the win for Chattanooga at home against Richmond last time these two teams met. And Beatty, for the second consecutive match, out with what is being called a knee injury on our injury report. So, who's the next to step up? We've seen a few faces this year for Chattanooga. Seone and Greg Hurst, the ones mostly to name. Hurst coming on in the last few matches. You can see there 7 appearances, but really coming out and showing his force against Lansing in that 7-goal affair. Seone as well has been key down the stretch to keep Chattanooga in this playoff hunt. And both players, are guys to keep an eye on at the top of the formation. Maybe can combine as well on that forward line to help out Chattanooga to what they really need to be 2 wins down the stretch at the end of the season. Richmond on the other side, players to watch with Joe Gallardo and his 6 goals missing from action tonight due to yellow card accumulation. Bolduc there finding Chin against Tormenta a few weeks ago, and those two could combine here today. Bolduc 6 assists this season. He's tied 3rd in that category here in USL League One. Dennis Chin on the other side, the veteran of Orlando City SC, back in their USL Championship days. Really, they're going to need some of that experience to get Richmond in this game, spoil some results for teams looking to hunt for playoff results, and that being Chattanooga here this evening. We'll see if Richmond can find the back of the net after a frustrating Tucson match as well last week. Richmond and Chattanooga doing battle. The Red Wolves are hungry, but will they be satisfied at the end of the night? They need 2 wins in their last 2 and some help from Madison, but Richmond looking to stop them. Welcome back here to David Stanton Field in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Richmond Kickers coming to town, 4th time these two teams meeting here in 2019 as we move on into our starting 11s tonight, provided by Nourish Point, fueling the starting 11. And for Chattanooga, we mentioned it, 3 starters missing out there. Beatty and Doyle injured, as we'll see in just a few moments, but also Fola seeing red against Orlando last week, causing a bit of a shakeup out there. But Richard Dixon out there at center back for Chattanooga, and he had 4 starts at the beginning of the year before facing an injury down the rest of the way, so great to see him back, and we'll see him be tested against this Richmond starting 11. And for David Bulow, his squad out of playoff contention, but certainly trying to be spoilers as they head down the stretch. Eckenrode and Rodriguez, the central midfielders, a really stacked bench out there for Richmond here on the road. Jackson and Bolduc look for them to create along with Riley Kraft. So it could be a really stocked roster as we head into the second half as well for Bulow and his squad here on the road today. Keep an eye on Braden Troyer as well. He's played center back before this season for Richmond, but not something he's familiar with, and that is due to Shinosky and also Akwe seeing red against Tucson in that tough 0-0 draw out in Arizona last week. A look at Chattanooga as they get set to get things going here from David Stanfield. Tony Walls there with the captain's armband. He had the game-winning goal against Orlando last week. A huge victory for Chattanooga, to say the least, as they head down the stretch. Trailing a health injury report here. We mentioned it before. Beatty and Doyle out here today, as Doyle was questionable but being kept out due to injury. Monacona out for Richmond, as he has been, unfortunately, for the better part of the second half of the year for David Bulow's squad. As I said, fourth time this season, Chattanooga and Richmond going at it. And at this point, it is Chattanooga leading 2-1 in the series, getting a win on the road at City Stadium. This is the second matchup at David Stanton Field, a matchup that Chattanooga did win back on June 29th, 1-0 on the Stephen Beatty tally. It will be Chattanooga to start us off here in our match tonight, presented by Transcard. Chattanooga, one of just two teams still alive in the playoff hunt for League One, along with Madison. Madison fans, if they're watching the flock in tow, they are certainly hoping for a Chattanooga loss, which would lock up a playoff spot for them. Whistle blows, we're off and running here from David Stanton Field in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Richmond and Chattanooga here to finish off week 27 in USL League One. Again, I'm Chris Makoviak here, bringing you the action. Happy to have you with us here on this Saturday evening. And the foul is called. Our head official, by the way, is Joshua Encarnacion. We'll see much time in USL League One throughout this 2019 campaign. There's Magales, one of the center backs still out there for Richmond. And David Bulow telling us this week that really those red cards took the air out of the team down the stretch, unfortunately, for a side that looked really good in the second half against Tucson. Some great chances, and I have to say Fitzgerald really kept his squad in it with 5 saves on the night and getting a clean sheet, of course, his 8th of the season. Richard Dixon seeing his first real test here this evening, and he lets the ball go out of play to Alex Mangles. Mangles not really in the GAA battle this year for Chattanooga, but he has kept them in the playoff contention with his saving abilities, up to 76 on the year. That's first in USL League One. A fantastic shot stopper like he was at Portland Timbers too. There's Chattanooga finding some room. Pineda down the left flank. Here comes the pack. Ball whipped in, knocked out. First corner kick of the match will go to the home side. Again, Chattanooga coming off of a 2-1 victory over Orlando City B. A match with 2 red cards. One to Leonardo Simas of Orlando, and one, of course, to Leo Fola. And the center back out of action tonight due to that for Chattanooga. Ziguro back in after serving that red card suspension after his card was shown against Lansing in that 7-goal affair 2 weeks ago. Ziguro sends it in, knocked down and out of play. It was Eckenrode all over it, and it's back for another corner. Walefe will come over and take it, the Brazilian, formerly of Swope Park Rangers, in their attempt at a title run in USL Championship a few years ago. Ball whipped in, headed up and away. It looked like Magales was there. Pressure from Boateng up and settled well by David Bulow. Always likes a good trick on the sidelines for his squad. He was very honest about where the mindset, the mentality is for his side, for he and his team entering these final few matches. They're out of the playoffs, but he says we're still fighting, of course, for next season, the players to be around on this squad, and of course for him to lead them And he said their main goal at this point, finish 5th with as many points as they can, of course, in their final 3. They have this one and then 2 matches finish out a homestand here in 2019. They host Toronto Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern time, and then next Saturday they'll host Orlando City B. Tony Wall steps up, service in, headed away by Troyer. The experienced Richmond kicker actually had his first professional goal against Greenville, despite this being his 5th season as a kicker. Boateng, shot stopped by Mangles, and Boateng did what he wanted there, won a corner kick for the Richmond Kickers, their first of the night. Another look here. And as Boateng, a sharp angle. He has yet to score a League One goal, but he had 4 in that Open Cup first round battle against Virginia United, close to the record set by his head coach, David Bulow. He had 5 in one match in Open Cup play during his playing days with the Richmond Kickers. Here's Eckenrode. He'll wind into this one from the left side, headed up and away. Here's Hughes on the right flank. Another player to really watch for, to create up ahead for Richmond. Knocked down, still alive, but kicked away by Walefe. Mwape. Here's Dennis Chin. Chin thinking about it. Almost took a whack, but instead held up, and he felt the contact there with Soto. And typically for Chattanooga, their holding midfielders Doyle and Walefe, they have worked that combo so well, but here comes Richmond back the other way. Rodriguez, a good cut, still alive with the ball. Still Rodriguez, back across, but stopped by Soto. Out for a corner kick for Richmond. Both teams looking to strike early on here at David Stanton Field. Josue Soto getting the start in the stead of Connor Doyle, the former MLS forward, working as a holding midfielder all season for the Red Wolves. And has really become a great combination with Walefe out there. Mwape will take it. Lines into this one, headed up and away. A good stop in the end by Moulin. Another corner kick though for Richmond, their 3rd. I'd like to welcome those in watching on CBS 6.3 WTVR in Richmond, as Mwape rips this one in and headed up and out of play. Of course, those of you also watching on ESPN Plus. Eckenrode takes another, knocked down and back out. 4th corner kick already for Richmond here in minute 7. Richmond last in shots in USL League One. Last in goals as well, with that tally by Orlando City B against Greenville last night. Headed up and away. Hughes after it. Looks like he'll get there. Lets it go out instead. He'll have a throw-in. Josh Hughes, the Fort Worth, Texas native. 2 goals, 2 assists this season. And spot him on the right wing throughout this match. There's Thompson. Chin on the near side. Bit of miscommunication there, but things opening up for Dennis Chin. Cut around of Tony Walls. Thompson steps up, lines it in, but a skip and a hop, and it's over to Mangles. So far for the Kickers, 2 shots, 1 on target, none so far for the Red Wolves. Trying to get out of this pressure. Here's Tony Walls on the right side, former St. Louis FC player. Walefe under pressure from Rodriguez. Skies it. Walefe trying to find some room, and he'll send it on back to Troyer. Back all the way to Troyer. Kind of a special match for him. His wife is actually from Chattanooga. There's Fitzgerald, making the team of the week. As I mentioned, 5 saves, and a clean sheet against Tucson. Left flank, they'll try things out with the Brick, New Jersey native, Thompson. Through ball ahead, Boateng on the run, but he'll lose it in the end to Caporelli. Or will he? One back in the box, still alive on the end line. Here comes Richmond. Going down, and Encarnacion saying get back up on that one. Not enough contact for a head official. Headed back by Thompson into the box, and Fitzgerald will scoop it up and sling it back ahead for his side. Richmond entering 8, 12, and 5, 29 points on the season. Chattanooga on the other side, 9, 8, and 9, 36 points. Madison, the team they're contending with, at 40 points after their draw against Tucson last night. The formula for Chattanooga, they need to win their last 2, their last being against Toronto here at David Sand Field coming up next Saturday. And then also they'll need some help from Madison along the way. A draw or a loss for the Flamingos against Lansing on their final match day. Caporelli, the Argentine, working it around the back and knocked upfield. Soto in a predicament. He'll work it towards Dixon and down this near flank. Walls stepping up. Milwaukee native, service over the top, brought down, still alive in the box, knocked out, and what's the call here? And it will be a goal kick in favor of Richmond. So watch for that service all night. Our players to watch in Greg Hurst and also Cito Seone. Greg Hurst joining the squad deep into the season, now making his 8th appearance overall as a Red Wolf. Native of Scotland, now up to 2 goals and 1 assist this season. Ball's up ahead, headed away by Troyer. Rodriguez under it, so is Soto. He'll win it back for Chattanooga. Zikaro's strike, but winding the ball in the deflection into the path of Fitzgerald. He'll kick it downfield. Boateng out wide to Chin. Jamaican forward. Brought down, top of the box, and the kicker set up perfectly here. See what they could do on this set piece. A funny combination between these two sides. Richmond, the least amount of fouls conceded among all League One teams. Chattanooga, the most among all League One teams. Chattanooga as well, second most yellow cards of any squad here in USL League One. Leads to Eckenrode and Thompson over the ball. See what the kickers decide to do here. Typically this is one Gallardo would probably take, but not with them here today in Chattanooga. Eckenrode lofts it in, headed up and away relatively easily by Walls. Walefe down the field, but handled well in the end as it's Lockerbie stepping up, the VCU grad. Caporelli once again winning that battle with Mwape on the far side. A whiff by Moulin. Up the field, Hurst grabbed from behind and an easy foul call for Encarnacion. This will come on back for the Red Wolves. Physical battle early on here from Chattanooga. Select is the official ball supplier of USL League One and many of the finest leagues in the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation, For the latest select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. And that select ball staying with Chattanooga for now. Tony Walls and Pineda on the team of the week here in USL League One for their efforts against Orlando. Offsides is the call on that one. Pineda at the center of the midfield today. You can see him there. 3 created chances, 1 assist against Orlando. Stolen back by the Red Wolves. Soto up ahead. Pineda knocks it on. Red Wolves in the box, knocked up. Still alive, Zeguro can't get it on frame. And a great piece of heading ability from Chattanooga, working it all the way back to the back line. Here's Walls. Give and go, doesn't work to their liking as it's not too heavy in the touch. Back to Soto. And he'll swing it on to Dixon, and Chattanooga will reset. So Zeguro had it on the end line, tried to work it centrally. It looked like for Hurst, but could not convert on that play. Many white kits inside the box at that point for Richmond. Here's Zeguro lofting it in. Beautiful touch on that. Headed on out of play by Hurst. And it's a goal kick for Fitzgerald. Well, that's what Zeguro can do. 6 assists this season. And his 1 goal came against Lansing on a corner kick. The Albanian really showcasing well this season in League One. Fitzgerald 3rd in saves in League One with 69. This is his 25th start of the season. Spent the last 2 years with the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Zeguro, the Albanian, driving towards the end line. Gets it on by Thompson, but loses possession as well. No touch called by our officiating crew here in minute 16, and it's back over to Richmond. Richmond giving up 31 goals this season, about 1.2 mark, up to 9 clean sheets overall. And to this point, they've allowed just 1 shot from Chattanooga. Richmond themselves finding some room here. Mwape out wide, but an easy interception by Caparelli. Caparelli with appearance number 25 on the season today. Out of play, it'll be a throw-in on the far side. Good look at the Chattanooga acting head coach in David Barretta. Got to talk to him here this week ahead of the match and said, really kept bringing the conversation back to discipline, trying not to make mistakes overall. He says, really things are lined up that Chattanooga does what they do so well. They can make the playoffs, and really it is in their power. They need 2 wins, and then things are left wide open for Madison if they're able to get a draw or a loss to Lansing on the road in the final match day this League One season. Then Chattanooga would have an open door. And it's funny how the schedule works out on that final match day, as Lansing and Madison will battle at 3 p.m. Eastern time. So many of the teams affected by the result of that will know what they have to do entering the matches at night. That includes Chattanooga. They'll know if they're in or out by the time they kick off here against Toronto on Fan Appreciation Night. Back the other way with Richmond up to Dennis Chin. Boateng out to Chin. No one really threatening in the box though for Chin. Good touch around Dixon, but it's right back to Moulin and Chattanooga. Boateng knocks it on. Rodriguez. Mwape. Mwape wheeling it around and off the reset. That includes also Greenville and Tormenta. That's the other match to watch for playoff stakes entering the final match today. That's the last one to kick off at 8 p.m. Eastern time. as the number 2 seed still yet to be locked up officially. It's in Lansing's control. They win against Madison, and they will be hosting a semifinal as this ball is knocked away towards Caparelli. But Greenville, a win over Tormenta and a loss by Lansing, and they would be hosting that semifinal. Batted back downfield and all the way towards Troyer. Pressure from Hurst, though. The Scotsman can't get there in time as it's back over to Fitzgerald. Ivan Magales, another Brazilian on the field tonight. Played in front of Fitzgerald at times last year at the Tampa Bay Rowdies. And here are the Scenic City Alphas cheering on the Red Wolves here at home at David Stanton Field. And Chattanooga, what a fortress they have built throughout the season. 7-1-4 overall here on the campaign. Their only loss 2-0 to the regular season champs in North Texas SC. The Red Wolves' problem this season has been their road record. They only have 2 wins on the road, 2-7-5 at that mark. Ball going the other way on the foul, right along that far sideline. Pineda draws it. And Walefe over the ball. Ball knocked away here in minute 20. Fans can continue to enjoy the USL on ESPN through the 2022 season. The USL is excited to announce that the championship in League One will remain with the leader in sports for 3 more years. ESPN Plus will continue to be the home of all things USL, and at least 19 games a year will be featured on the ESPN family of networks, including 9 games on ESPN Deportes. Continue to follow, support, and watch your club on ESPN and ESPN Plus. Of course, final week of action, so much still going on. Wednesday, it'll be Richmond and Toronto kicking off from City Stadium at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Friday, Tucson and North Texas do battle in Arizona. And then, of course, a great slate of action on the Saturday, the final match day in this USL League One regular season, with 4 matches slated on ESPN Plus. So definitely join us for that action. It's going to be a fun week in week 28, the final week of action in USL League One. What a season it has been. You know, 3 playoff teams headed in. Just need 1 more. It will be this side, Chattanooga or Madison. Soto. Dixon on the near side, former OKC Energy player. Walefe. Zaguro coming all the way back to help out this possession. Chattanooga can't find anything at the moment. Headed up by Thompson, falls to Sayone. Wide open look on the far side. Troyer coming back and bringing down Pineda in the box, and that will be a penalty awarded for the Red Wolves as Troyer tripping up Pineda. And we'll see if there's anything along with this. Back pocket, and it is a red to Braden Troyer here in minute 23. And Richmond down a man again here in week 27. And that is the 7th red card for Richmond this season, tied for first in USL League One. Let's take another look, and I don't think there's anything else Joshua Encarnacion could do here. Troyer, a complete wraparound of Pineda. He was the last man there. And inside the box as well. There's still some words being had by Maxi Rodriguez, the captain of Richmond, but nonetheless, Richmond down to 10 men against Chattanooga, and a chance for the Red Wolves to convert at the spot, take an early lead. What a goal this would be in their hopes for a playoff spot down the line. For Chattanooga, they're 2 for 2 from the spot this season. Stephen Beattie, typically their taker from the spot. Richmond, this is their third conceded PK overall on this campaign. Fitzgerald has yet to save one this season. The Brazilian Walefe looking to put his side on top. Walefe puts it home. Beautiful taken PK. 1-0 to the Red Wolves. The Pack off and running towards maybe a playoff spot. Such an important goal towards their hopes. They really need a win today to stay alive. And it starts there from the PK spot. And again, Braden Troyer off with a red card. Walefe putting it home. Not much Fitzgerald could do there. The Japanese keeper full extension and right on by. 1-0 to the Red Wolves here in minute 25. First of the season for the Brazilian. And a foul called immediately as Richmond tries to get their attack going. We'll see how David Bilo maybe changes things up on the field as we continue in this one. Well, Richmond just has seen so many red cards on their playing surface this season, not only for them, but overall with their opponents as well. They've been part of 2 separate 3 red card matches. And they saw one here of their own here today on Troyer. That's his first of the season as this ball works its way through to the box. Saved by Fitzgerald. As Hurst on the run, can't convert, but Chattanooga, they are hungry for that insurance tally. Pineda, quick steal the other way. Walefe into the box, cross, but grabbed at the near post by Fitzgerald. Electric start here at David Stanton Field. Three shots for Chattanooga, one on target as well for Richmond, 2 shots total. Back down the far flank. Richmond trying to build ahead. They really started with momentum in this match. Maybe they'll find some here with the ball over the top. Mwape cutting in, puts it over. Boateng skies the header. Oh, what an opportunity in the end for the Ghanaian, but putting it out of play. Dixon gets us going again as we take another look at this chance. Put on a platter for the young forward, but just could not put it on target. Thompson, brought back by Moulin. He'll knock it on over to Caparelli. There's Pineda. Former Orange County SC man and USL Championship draws the foul. A little bit of frustration there as well from Lockerbie. And a free kick awarded to Chattanooga, and Pineda still down. Native of Santa Ana, California. 1 goal, 4 assists this season. Player that has really come on in the second half of the year. Ekin rode into the book as well. So a red card and a yellow card, both shown to Richmond in the first 28 by Encarnacion. Fourth of the season for the Springfield, Virginia native.
The official yellow card is brought to you by Cappleman White and McGarvey Eye Care. We fix foul vision.
Eckenrode, former player in the Tormenta system in their USL League 2 side. His brother Lars still with Tormenta on their USL League 1 squad. Unfortunately, he's been out most of the season due to a head injury against Orlando City B. Walls. Cutting around, puts it in, low one, easily knocked away by Magales. Out of play, it's a throw in by Chattanooga. 32 goals this season for the Red Wolves. Just 3.2 shots on target per game though. Without their leading scorer here today for the second straight match, and Stephen Beatty. Driven down the field towards this right flank. That's where Tony Walls is. So is Thompson. Will flick it on towards Dennis Chin, who has settled in at the left wing. Lets that go out. It's back to the kickers. Really unfortunate for Richmond. Even David Buell saying it in our conversation this week. It came down really to the offsides call in the North Texas Madison game. If that was a draw, they would have still been in it this week. But of course, out at this point, unfortunately. Pineda the strike. What a shot. What a save. Matched by it. Fitzgerald down to his right. And he keeps that insurance tally off the board. Ziguro back with it. Tries to loft it in. Stopped by Lockerbie. Ziguro. Oh, good touch there by the Albanian. Puts it in. Quick turn, but Chin is there to recover it. Back to Thompson. Moulin works it out wide to Caporelli. Dixon. Back with Moulin. All Chattanooga since this Richmond red card a few minutes ago on Troyer have dictated possession and momentum. Here's Soto. Walls trying to pick up the speed and move it towards the box, but couldn't find anything as he picked up his head. On the near side, Walls. Soto. Dixon. Ziguro stepping up. Some room for him. Through ball ahead. Strike coming and on and in. Cito Seone puts it home. And in minute 32, it's 2-0 Chattanooga. Capitalizing on the possession. And Ziguro will get assist number 7 on that through ball to the forward in the box.
Assist from number 6.
Seone getting number 6 on the season. And what a powerful strike on past that near post. On a wide open run as Richmond looked for the offsides, it did not come. All it did was a golden opportunity for Cito. 2-0 Chattanooga. And for the second straight week, Seone putting one through here at home. Had the initial tally against Orlando in last week's action. Chin. Thompson an option on the left flank that he will take. Up ahead from the UVA grad. Chin. Back to Thompson. Knocked out by Thompson. And Richmond just can't find any consistency up ahead. Hurst, though, a consistent force in the last few minutes. Seone back to Hurst. He's onside. Knocked away on the tackle by Eckenrode. What a stop. Chin. Still Chin. A foul called against Chattanooga as Chin weaved around the defense. Chin on the near side. Walefi on back for Chattanooga. Looking for the latest USL League One news and content? Follow at USL League One on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for exclusive access and updates. Of course, always stay tuned for the Goal of the Week and Save of the Week voting. We'll be talking about Save of the Year and Goal of the Year shortly, I'm sure, as we approach the playoffs. Offsides, and it's back to Richmond. Centrally, here's Hughes. Thompson on the run up from his left back spot. Lofts the ball in, but only Red Kitts there, but Soto putting it out of play safely. It's a corner kick for Richmond, the first one in a while, but the fifth of this first half. Mawape heading over to take it. Richmond this season, when conceding first, 2-12. The 2 comeback victories, but 12 losses alongside that. Chattanooga 9-1-4, a pretty record when scoring first. See if they can hold on here. Only a minute 36. Knocked away, still alive. Boateng stopped at the line. Looked like it was Walls there, but a few bodies around for the Red Wolves. Mawape. Eckenrode flicks it on. Boateng misses. Hughes knocked away by Walls. It's a race for it. And a foul going against Tony Walls as he ran into the back of Hughes at the edge of the box. And it looks like a yellow will be shown, and it may be for dissent at the end of this play. And it is to Mullen. Something he said, it seems, to Encarnacion at the end of that call. But what an opportunity for Richmond to get right back into this match as Hughes felt the contact from behind. So for Mullen, that's number 3 in the book this season. Oh, look here. Hughes knew that contact was coming, felt it, and went down. That's a good job there of the vision of the play. Walls, unfortunately, giving that up for Chattanooga. But Richmond, they can get right back into this with a chance here. Tough angle as well for Mangles. 2-man wall for Chattanooga. Maxi Rodriguez over the ball. Whips it in and just over the crossbar. Had 1 tally this season, trying to make it 2, but just couldn't get it on frame there. Now look here as we take into minute 38 from David Stanton Field, and Rodriguez a good go of it, but just over the mark. What's coming up? Stick around for our Transcard halftime report. We'll take you through all the teams that have clinched spots in the playoffs, along with the other scenarios, keeping Chattanooga and Madison in play, along with checking out the highlights from League One and USL Championship from last week. Seone on the run down the right flank. He lofts the ball in, but Fitzgerald all by himself. He may have just let this go out of play. No, he will collect it just before the end line. Bats it downfield. So as things stand at the moment here in this match, Chattanooga would move up to 39 points, one behind Madison. The thing is, the tiebreakers don't really work for these two sides. It's more focused on results. As Chattanooga entering the day needed 2 wins to be even on wins with Madison, but Chattanooga's goal differential 9 behind Madison entering the day, so they would need a great effort there to meet the second tiebreaker over Madison. What Chattanooga really would love is a draw or a loss by Madison against Lansing next week. And Chattanooga, of course, would be looking at a win to really lock things down. And that is what they need at this point, including tonight 2 wins and a loss or draw by the Flamingos against their rival in Lansing Ignite. Far side of the field, Richmond trying to strike just before the half. If you're just joining us, Troyer was sent off on a red card midway through this first half, led to a PK. That was the opening goal by Walefe. So Richmond down to 10 men. It's been all Chattanooga since then. Foul is called against the Brazilian, and a free kick won by Maxi Rodriguez. Not much contact there, but the intent was enough to draw the foul. Moulin knocks it down the field, out of play though, as Richmond continues this attack. Chattanooga again, one more match this season against Toronto coming next Saturday after today. Richmond has a 2-game homestand. But both teams will see Toronto along the way, and Richmond finishes the season against Orlando City B, a team that showed well on the road at Greenville, getting their first road win of the season last night, as Magala is making a good stop, knocking the ball out of play. Under their new head coach, Roberto Cibaja, 0-7 entering last night, but getting their first win under him after scoring 5 in the previous 5 games. Cito Sayone puts it across, but just outside the reach as Eckenroe will try to spur the attack the other way. 41st minute, Richmond down to 10 men and down 2 goals to Chattanooga.
Go Blues! Come on, Petro!
On back to Fitzgerald. We'll see what David Bulow chooses to do in terms of changes at the break or in the second half. He's lacking that force to bring the ball between the attacking midfield and these forwards, as again they lose it at the back. Here's Dixon again, making his first start since the beginning of the season when he started the first 4 matches. Sayone working quickly, he wants a third. Pineda, Walefe, on back to Dixon, and this is what Chattanooga can do with that insurance tally, really work the ball around, burn some time off the clock, as we're down to 3 minutes remaining in the first half. Ball whipped in, good chance, knocked up and around. Oh, Greg Hurst left asking for his 3rd of the season. A bit banged up as he went in for that challenge against Fitzgerald. What an opportunity from the left flank. Zeguro picking up his head and almost finding the Scotsman, but he flicks it on just wide. Had 2 goals, 5 assists with Stenhousemuir FC in the Scottish 2nd Division. That season ending in May. Took him a few matches to get back in the rhythm of things. with Chattanooga, but has been flying the last few matches. Really the force they needed at the top of the formation. Two minutes remaining here, plus stoppage time from David Stanton Field. Thompson. Mawape on the run, he'll have to give it back. He goes down, and another foul against Chattanooga. This may be yellow as well. The card's flying out of the pocket, and Ziguro into the book.
Number 6 for Chattanooga, Evangels Guro.
Number 7 on the season in terms of yellow for Ziguro. Another look here. Here's a late tackle as he came in and got a touch on Mawape. Mangles and Chattanooga looking to burn off the final few seconds here in the first half. We'll see what we'll have in terms of stoppage time. They have to like where they're at under David Beretta at the break, up 2-0. Beretta, the acting head coach, but head coaching experience in Division I soccer. He's also had stops along with his Longwood days at Mercer, Yale. Rutgers grad in terms of soccer, playing with the Atlanta Ruckus, New England Revolution, and the Maryland Bays.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth official is indicating that we will have a
Cito Seone.
2 minutes of stoppage time here in the first
2 minutes of stoppage time, but Seone looking for another here. He goes down, not really much contact there though for the forward. Clear push off the ball by Caporelli. And we'll have a quick restart as well for the Kickers. Knocked away by Hughes as he took it off the right foot. Here's Hurst. Moulin stepping up, Chattanooga keeping their hopes alive here on the offensive end, but no, sent out a play by Pineda to throw in for Richmond. Exactly what Chattanooga needs so far tonight. They need the 3 points. They're up 2-0. Good healthy lead at that. Also up a man on the pitch. Near side, here's Thompson. Shin. Hughes. Mawape takes a go, but could not get under that one. That one rolls wide, right out of play, and Mangles will collect it. So 2-0 Chattanooga as we head towards the break and our final 30 seconds about that of stoppage time. And it seems to be going that way the entire first half. Richmond came out flying in the first few minutes. But those cards really slowed things down, especially that PK, as Chattanooga was off and running towards the box. Here comes Hurst. Hurst puts it centrally. Pineda cuts it back. Couldn't find what he wanted. Through ball towards Hurst. What a packed first 45, and Chattanooga surviving it with 2 goals. They're up 2-0 at the break. And what have we had to this point? 4 combined cards, including that red against Troyer. We're set for a physical battle into the second 45. 2 goals for Chattanooga, 1 from the spot and 1 on the run of Seone. What a start, and that's exactly what the Red Wolves needed at home to keep their playoff hopes alive. They need a win tonight. They're off to a good start. We'll see if they can continue it into the second 45. Richmond under David Beulah back to the drawing board. We'll see how they change things at the break. Down a man on the field. Of course, stay with us for a Transcard halftime report coming up next. Welcome back here into David Stanton Field. 2-0 Chattanooga at the break as we begin our Transcard halftime report. And for Chattanooga, not their final home match of the season, as we will celebrate Fan Appreciation Night coming up next Saturday, the final match day in USL League One. And they'll have a match against Toronto FC2 starting at 7 p.m. And Chattanooga hoping that this will be a key one as well towards a playoff run, potentially. With a win tonight and a win in that match and a loss or draw by Madison against Lansing, they will be into the playoffs. So stay tuned for that one. Join us at David Stanton Field or tune into ESPN Plus if you can't make it out, of course. North Texas SC, their one team, certainly not worried about their standing at this point in the table. They were the first team to clinch a spot in the inaugural USL League One playoffs as the regular season champions. They did not play this week. Their final match coming up next Friday at FC Tucson. And of course, they will host their semifinal against Madison or Chattanooga. Maybe Greenville if Madison can make a run. Coming up on October 12th, an 8 p.m. Eastern time start that will be on a Saturday. Lansing on the other side, a lot of things still up in the air. They are clinched into a playoff spot, but either Lansing or Greenville will hold on to that other home semifinal. It seems like Lansing at this point has the edge. If they win, if they get a draw against Madison in that home match coming up next Saturday, then they will be hosting that semifinal at Cooley Law School Stadium. And Greenville on the other side, they had the power in their hands, but just could not get it done against Orlando City B last night in the first road win of the season for Orlando City B. Greenville actually clinched earlier this week against FC Tucson in a crazy match. If you didn't get to tune in, check out the highlights via the USL League One social media and USLLeague1.com. But they clinched on a 3-2 victory over FC Tucson on a Chris Bermudez goal, running the length of the field with the keeper caught up the field on a free kick in stoppage time, and that's how they clinched it. Something that will always be ingrained in the memories of the Reedy River Riot and the Greenville fans out there. But nonetheless, still a bit of control for them if Lansing does not get a result against Madison. If Madison pulls a quote-unquote upset on the road against Lansing, then Greenville will have the opportunity to clinch a home semifinal with a win over Tormenta, as they will own the tiebreakers if they do win over Tormenta and wins in goal differential. You have to expect over Lansing, and then at that point it would only matter in the win amount on the overall table. Here's a look at the playoff race at this point. Lansing and Greenville clinch Madison and Chattanooga, the two teams remaining battling for that 4th spot. Chattanooga win tonight, their playoff clinching percentage would go up to about 30%, so things still playing out for Chattanooga. Madison in control, but we'll see how this turns out after tonight and of course next week as we continue the playoff race here in USL League One. USL Championship, many teams there also racing towards the playoffs, and the next Wednesday night soccer matchup featuring El Paso and Fresno FC.
Let's go with the left foot, Jamal Johnson. What a goal! Perfectly placed.
Trying to splice this New York defense with a curling effort. That's incredible. What a goal by Nine.
Johnson, though, going to hurry things up. Tenorio giving a blast. Goal! Clever will take a shot. He fires it home for a classic.
Cicerone to the back post. Sliding it in. What a start for St. Louis. Tyler Blackwood.
Wharton and Espria in it as well. Williamson strikes and puts it in, a 4th for T2 on a beautiful strike.
Asante saved by Concrete.
Saved by Morton. Through and a diving stop.
Punched away by Laurel. Follow. Kick save Laurel. And this.
It's a hammer. Oh, that's an important intervention by Logan Ketterer.
On, Klaus fires, and back of the net, Paul Klaus. Final here, ball swept in. Headed on, up and in, and just like that, Toronto answers.
Ball played forward up the side, Moon trying to drop it back. Tries the left-footed shot and finds the back of the net. Nick Moon in stoppage time in the first half, breaking the deadlock. Rayo now. Rodriguez going for that top corner. What a save by Silvestre. Through the midfield for Richmond. Calls for Wheeler Amanu and a shot saved by Fitzgerald. Still around the box for Chattanooga. The shot by Caparelli's pushed aside by Herrera. Austin Amer.
News and notes from around USL League One. We talked about it just moments ago. That home semifinal still up in the air and down to the wire. Madison and Chattanooga doing battle. And if you checked out the Forward Madison social media, they're all Richmond tonight. But at this point, Richmond down 2-0. So we'll see if the Kickers have a comeback in them in the second half. Player of the Week honors going again for the second straight week to Greenville. In Paul Klaus this time, a goal and an assist against Toronto FC2 last week. Ronaldo Demas still alone at the top of the Golden Boot race. 16 goals, 4 ahead of Perusa. Fantastic season for the Haitian striker, to say the least. In the GAA battle for the Golden Glove, though, it's Dallas J still with the lead despite giving up a few goals in the last few matches. 0.69, sitting pretty at the top of Brian Silvestri. A good run of form of the last few matches now at 0.93, the only other keeper here in League One under 1 GAA. Looking at the scoreboard, we had a triple header on our Friday and of course that Tuesday matchup for Greenville. So all these scores in front of you. That Forward Madison 1 point against FC Tucson. So key to this match here today, keeping Chattanooga alive in the playoff race. Here's the standings as we enter today. Really, you could disregard down below number 5, 4v5 for the 4th and final spot in the League One playoffs. And this win tonight potentially for Chattanooga would be so key to do that. They need to win their last two and get some help from Madison against Lansing coming up next Saturday. Coming up, you will see that upcoming battle between Lansing and Forward Madison. A great 3 p.m. start to that one on ESPN Plus coming up next Saturday. 3 other matches coming up next Saturday night, including Tormenta and Greenville. Another one adding to that home semifinal battle if Lansing slips up against Madison. As we end out our Transcard halftime report, we'll check out highlights and stats coming up next. Welcome back here into David Stanton Field. 2-0 in favor of Chattanooga as we finish off our Transcard halftime report. Taking a look at our first half highlights. All Chattanooga, really. 7 shots, 4 on target. And from the get-go, they really had things going here at home. Richmond, good first few minutes as the fans took in the second to last home match for Chattanooga this season. Troyer there, a red card, bringing down Pineda pretty clearly there, last man standing. Not much Encarnacion could do other than give the red on that one. While Efe, for the first time this season, putting one in the back of the net. And at the end of the day, putting up Chattanooga 1-0 in this match past Fitzgerald. The onslaught would continue, but a good save by Fitzgerald. He's looked good out there, but has been peppered with so many chances from the Red Wolves at this point in the match. Here comes Ziguro. Easy through ball on ahead, and Seone puts it on home. One of our players to watch in today's match gets it from Ziguro, his 7th assist of the season, and for Seone, his 6th tally in the back of the net. And Chattanooga off and running up 2-0. Richmond, some chances overall, but just not to the same prowess as Chattanooga in the first 45. Looking to build back into the second 45, maybe with some more connection to the top of the box, but they were down a man, so understandable at that. Hurst nearly finding one himself, but putting that on out wide, and Ziguro doing what he does so well, putting it on a platter for the forwards at the top of the formation. So Chattanooga clearly majority of chances in this match. Richmond 6 shots, but just that one on target to this point. And a plenitude of cards out there. 2 yellows for Chattanooga, 1 red, 1 yellow for Richmond, coming in the span of about 5 minutes. So we'll see how Encarnacion tapers this match as we head into the second 45. Beautiful night here for soccer in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Again, I'm Chris Makoviak here, bringing you the action on ESPN+. One final home match for Chattanooga after this one against Toronto next weekend. But for now, looking to get the 3 points here today to stay in the playoff hunt. They're up 2-0 at the break, and Richmond looking to bounce back, and it seems as though, at least on first glance, Richmond going to a back 3, an adjustment with just 10 men on the field, with Troyer getting that red card in the first half. Ball off to the near side. This will trickle out of play, and already seeing a substitution for Richmond. Matt Bolduc came on at the break, tied third on the assist category in League One with 6 this season. A real creative force in the attacking midfield for Richmond. Keep in mind they are without Joe Gallardo in this match. Both teams without 3 starters on the season in this match. For Richmond, it's 2 center backs, Akwe and Shanoski, along with Joe Gallardo, who's suspended on yellow card accumulation. And on the other side for Chattanooga, injured are Beatty and Doyle, along with a red card suspension for Leo Fola. Bolduc on the near side. He'll play it up ahead. Foul called and a head injury potentially, as the trainer will be waved on. Tough collision there. And down, it looks like, is Moulin along with Mwape. But coming off at the break, we're hearing 2 substitutions for David Bulow and the Richmond Kickers. It was Dennis Chin coming off, along with Yannick Eckenrode. On coming Matt Bolduc and Riley Kraft, 2 players you would love to bring off your bench in any match. The creative ability of Riley Kraft adding to the Kickers later on this season, making his 6th appearance overall. Former Sacramento Republic Academy player. And also Matt Bolduc, as I mentioned, one of the assist leaders here in USL League One. Trainer's still on the field. You hate to see this, the head collision on the play. Taking a look here. Bit of slow-mo, see what really happened. Moulin and Mwape is running into each other, as Moulin did not see the winger coming over for Richmond. Luckily, both players on their feet, walking off under their own power. Here's Moulin on the near side, the former Atlanta United 2 player in USL Championship, making appearance number 17 on the season. Walefe will get us going again. Both teams down a man on the field, at least for now. I should say Richmond down 2 men. But over the top, Ziguro couldn't settle it. It's on over to Fitzgerald. We'll see how Richmond's tactics have changed at the break with his 2 substitutions. As Moulin back on the field along with Mwape. Good sign for both players. Riley Kraft, his first touch there, trying to steal it from Walefe. Again, if you're a member of the flock, Forward Madison supporter, hoping for a Richmond comeback in the second half. Right now it's all Chattanooga, though, in minute 49. Free kick awarded to the Red Wolves, coming the other way. They'll move from right to left in the second half. And of course, Richmond from left to right. On outside the reach of Hurst, and it's over to Fitzgerald. Richmond, 2 matches coming up, a homestand to finish out their 2019 campaign. They'll take on Toronto, 7 p.m. Eastern time, coming up Wednesday night. Only Wednesday match here in USL League One in the final week, week 28. That'll be breast cancer awareness night as well. The first 400 fans get a free t-shirt. That is fans ages 14 and up. Also college night with discounted tickets, so check that out if you're a member of the Red Army or a Richmond Kicker supporter. Near side is Mwape. Oh, good touch there. Bolduc putting it on a platter. Mowape cuts it back, but a better stop by Soto and allowing Chattanooga to get it out of there. Well, that's really in a nutshell what Matt Bolduc can do. Ball up ahead, looks like it was offside. And indeed it'll be led on, chipped ahead, but out of play. That was brilliant, brilliant awareness. I believe that was Greg Hurst on the run the other way. And he would have been offsides by a good step, but he held up his run so his teammate could come up and take the shot. Take another look at this. And you can see Hurst saying, go get the ball, as Sayona came up and slung that out of play, hoping to chip the keeper. But we did talk to acting head coach David Beretta this week about Greg Hurst, and says that really he acts like a veteran out there. He's not a young player that you have to hold his hand in practice or tell him exactly what to do. He's very knowledgeable about the game and has immediately added to the squad. And something that Chattanooga really needed was a forward consistency at the top, and they have found it in Hurst in the last few matches. Ball off to the head, easy clear in the end, coming from Dixon. Down the right flank, here's Lockerbie. Kraft. Deflected on through, still alive with Richmond. Headed up by Moulin. Kraft, he'll give up the foul, and a free kick on the near side as Caparelli goes down. Fans of USL unveiled its elite youth platform, USL Academy. This allows clubs at all levels across the USL to develop its local youth and compete at the highest level across the United States, including the USL Academy Cup. For more information, visit uslsoccer.com/academy. Riley Kraft, someone that Dennis Chin and also Joe Gallardo were familiar with. Another former U.S. Youth International, and spent time with Orlando City B in 2017. Really, Richmond, a team of underdogs. Great stories throughout the squad. Joe Gallardo, Riley Kraft, two players given another chance by David Bulow. And Richmond, for a time, was trying to be that underdog story. They won against Greenville at City Stadium, 1-0 a few weeks ago, keeping that Cinderella story alive, but unfortunately came to an end due to Madison's win on Sunday against North Texas. Walefi. They'll knock it on back. David Bulow taking over for his first season at the helm of the Kickers. He played for them from 2006 to 2009, then another stint 2011 to 2013, notching 45 goals in league play. Has worked as a youth coach in the Richmond area since then. But of course, if there's anyone in line to really bring this franchise back to prominence, especially in their new era in a new league, it's David Bulow. Rough patches this season, but really found a mold for his squad. The players that he wanted to play a certain way in the second half of the year. They had a brilliant turnaround in the second half of the season. They're looking to do the same into 2020 and obviously make a statement these final 3 matches of the campaign and into the second 45 here. Lining up, knocked away by Walefi. Out of play, throwing on the near side. Richmond unfortunately missing the playoffs last 2 seasons in the USL Championship and now will in USL League One, but positive energy forward. The building blocks are there for the campaign next season, and I have to think many of these players will be back for the Kickers as they look for the chance here, put in, and cleared away in the end by Soto. This is the last match that Richmond can really play spoiler in. The next two opponents, both outside of the playoff race, in Toronto and Orlando City B. While Effie's stuck in the corner, out of play. That last match against Orlando City B, fan appreciation night at City Stadium for the Richmond Kickers, featuring a post-match meet and greet with the players. Here's Walefi. And down the other way with Fitzgerald. A bit more pop here for Richmond in possession in the second half. Oh, good touch in the end by Magales. Richmond down the field here looking for another opportunity. Ball be lofted to the left flank. Towards the end line, knocked down by Walls. Got it back up, Boateng under it. So is Dixon, and it's headed downfield, at least far enough for Richmond to have to regain their attack. Lockerbie chips it, but Mangles at the near post. An easy save for the native of Lafayette, California. First opportunity east of the Mississippi in his pro career for Alex Mangles. Previously at Tulsa, Roughnecks, San Francisco Deltas in the NASL, and of course Portland Timbers 2 with 15 appearances last season. Stayed home in his home state for college, 3 years at Cal. His name certainly known in League One circles. And you have to say across the league, goalkeepers, the core of this league has been fantastic overall. Great talent, Fitzgerald included. Out of play by Ziguro. From top to bottom, incredible talent for the keepers in League One. Bolduc, foul called, and it will be possession back over to Chattanooga. Comfortable lead right now for Chattanooga with that insurance tally by Seone. Coming on the assist from that man, Ziguro. As Soto works this to the far side. 4 shots on target, 8 total for Chattanooga. 4 shots on target above their average this season of 3.2. Obviously a pretty good night by that standard. Magales trying to lead the attack from his defensive spot. Kraft to the left flank. Again, Richmond missing one of their main creative forces in the attack, and Joe Gallardo. Foul called, a heavy tackle by nope, that is Dixon there with the challenge. Walefe off the ball. Center back coming way up for that challenge, and Richmond a chance here. Puts up the dangerous in the box. A look here as Dixon, quick turn, and bringing down Boateng with a very late challenge. Slowed up though enough, no card warranted. And here's Thompson getting ready to swing this one in. Headed up and away by Dixon. Shot coming from far out, but a trickling ball into the arms of Alex Mangles. Minute 62 goals for Chattanooga in the first half, and a red card for Richmond. They're 7th as a team on the season. Losing a veteran leader really in Braden Troyer as well. Lofted ahead, Hurst after it. So are the center backs of Richmond. This looked like it went out of play, indeed it did. Throw in the final third for Chattanooga. The real dagger would be a third goal tonight. fans getting into action here from David Stanton Field, cheering on the Red Wolves. Back all the way to Mangles, and if Chattanooga is able to get 3 goals here tonight, that would be the 4th time this season. Of course, they lost to Lansing 4-3 recently, but both other times that they scored 3 were 3-2 victories at home. Tormenta way back in April, and the other against Greenville, if you remember, a long weather-delayed match. They were able to come out on top despite a brief comeback by Greenville. They got the 3 points. Chattanooga getting set as well to make their first substitution of the match. Will be Juan Mare coming on for Zigura. Moulin knocks it on, but a battle for the ball, and it's won back by Richmond. Ball lofted down the field. Maybe a bit too far. No, it led up very well in that first hop. Knocked out by Moulin. Here's Bolduc on the near side. He'll take a throw, but first we'll have that substitution we just mentioned, as Lockerbie will take over control of this throw-in opportunity. And it is Juan Mare coming on for...
Stepping out of the game for the Chattanooga Red Wolves,
Zigura.
number 6, Vangel Scuro.
Mare, the Argentine, 15th appearance of the season. Spent the last 2 years with Real Monarchs, scoring twice. And a good rest there for Zigura, who had an assist tonight, his 7th of the season. A key face here for Chattanooga if they hope to make the playoffs. Zigura leading the team with 32 created chances entering the match today. Back underway here from David Stanfield. That ball stayed in play. While Leffe the through ball. Onside is Mare. No, this will be brought back. It looked like he was onside, but maybe a split second sooner than expected. As Fitzgerald will line this one up. Floats on through, Richmond on the run, but a header back by Tony Walls, and it's over to his keeper, Mangles. Foul called. A lot of stoppages in play here today. 4 cards in the first half, including 1 red. Down the left flank. Rodriguez coming back to help out. Lockerbie has to race back for this, but Hurst wins the ball. Good touch in there by Maxi Rodriguez, the captain. Moape lofts it. Boateng on the run. Boateng back of the net. Charles Boateng is first in league play. What a strike from the edge of the box. Moape putting it on a platter for the Ghanaian. Watch this again. Sensational finish. Boateng, his 5th in all competitions for Richmond this season. And he has them on the board here on the road. That insurance tally gone. And now the team down to 10 men, threatening just a bit more here on the road in minute 65. And it was the Red Wolves caught sleeping at the back a bit there. Mawape, great service and just one man back to stop Boateng, but you can't stop a strike like that as you look onto Josue Soto dealing with some cramping. Two-one in favor of Chattanooga, and you have to feel good if you're the Kickers with that tally, getting one back. And if you're a Forward Madison fan watching, you love that goal as well, as Soto, you can see, jogged off the field under his own power. The draw here tonight for Chattanooga, they are eliminated. And Madison's clinching that final spot. Soto has to be guided off. Again, we are still restarting from that goal by Boateng on the assist from Mawape. 2-1 Chattanooga. Getting one back are the Kickers. Soto back on as Chattanooga races on to the attack. Pineda flicks it on through. What a through ball! And a finish as well. No, brought back offsides on the play. Halt everything. And Mare left off the board. Watch this through ball. What an ability by Pineda. But you could see even there on that angle, Mare just a bit offsides, a step or two. And it stays 2-1 in favor of the Red Wolves. Mare, the sub on, leading the attack forward. Advantage played. Mare into the box, chest down, turns, fires, and side netting. Well, that a fun 2 minutes there for Juan Mare. Still looking for his first of this League One campaign. Pineda has been such a threat out there in the second half of the season. 4 assists on the campaign. Almost had number 5 on the previous play. Here comes Richmond. Boateng putting on the Jets. Stopped in his tracks though. It was Dixon getting the tackle there as we continue into minute 69. Ball down the right flank. Here comes Chattanooga. Ball whipped in through the legs. Cleared. Not far enough though. Ball left face. Strikes it! And just wide. Looking for the brace on his evening. But that won't be answered there. Pineda again putting it out there for his teammates. Can't put it home. Looking to find that insurance tally back on the board. Magalas sends it into the night. Knocked on out of play, throwing on the far side. Fans, you could continue to enjoy the USL on ESPN through the 2022 season. The USL is excited to announce that the championship in League One will remain with the leader in sports for 3 more years. ESPN Plus will continue to be the home of all things USL, and at least 19 games a year will be featured on the ESPN family of networks, including 9 games on ESPN Deportes. Continue to follow, support, and watch your club on ESPN and ESPN Plus. And talking to here at the end of the play from Encarnacion, hasn't had to go to the book since the first half. A tumultuous first half that is. And no cards being shown here, just some words. as this is back with Richmond. Again, I'd like to welcome in those watching on CBS 6.3 WTVR locally in Richmond, Virginia. Happy to have you with us here alongside our viewers on ESPN+. Kraft flicks it on. Here's Boateng. Out of play, and a throw-in on the far side. The goal scorer won't take it. It'll be passed on to Josh Hughes. Rodriguez testing the left flank. Kept it in play. Magales. Lockaby. Long ball testing out the flanks. On the run is Boateng. Lays it off. Top of the box. Cutting it back. Boateng strikes and saved at the near post by Mangles. A lofted one. A bit tougher than it looked on the read from Mangles, but he saves it at the near post. And Boateng feeling that confidence here in the second half. Good stop there by the 6'4" keeper. Knocked on, here comes Chattanooga. Mare getting through the traffic, but lost it to Moape. Here's Boateng again, but couldn't handle that one here in minute 72. Again, Chattanooga can clinch a playoff spot. They win this match, they're one against Toronto next week, and Madison either draws or loses to Lansing next Saturday. With the start times of the matches on October 5th, the final match day, Chattanooga will know entering their final match if they have a shot at a playoff spot and if they need to get a win as well. We've had some fun matches between Toronto and both of these sides. 2-2 finishes in two of those editions. Foul called the other way. First card of the second half, indeed it is. Tony Walls to the book.
Yellow card issued to number 20 for Chattanooga, Tony Walls.
Number 8 on the season for the Milwaukee native.
Eye care, we fix foul vision.
Flicked up, and you could see there some contact on the back end. A pretty easy card there for Encarnacion. Former USL Cup champion in 2015 with Rochester. Giving up a key opportunity for Richmond, trying to equalize here on the road. Ball drilled into the box. Mangles a tip. Gets enough on it to move it away from the box. Kraft lofting it, but there's Mangles on the end. Surveying the field, he'll move quickly for his side, Chattanooga. Here's Soto. Who's up, who's down, where does your club sit? Find out every Monday in the official USL League One Power Rankings, only on USLLeague1.com. Richmond, final third. They'll get out of there. Again, the first of 3 matches in 7 days to finish out the season for the Kickers. The next 2 will be at home, though. Against Toronto on Wednesday, Breast Cancer Awareness Night, and then next Saturday, Fan Appreciation Night at City Stadium against OCB. Fan Appreciation Night for Chattanooga next Saturday as well, as they host Toronto FC2. Pineda drills it down the right flank. Here's Hughes. Kraft. Stepping up, Lockerbie. Bolduc. Combining with Kraft, those two coming on at the halftime break. Boateng's been the key for the chances so far in the second half. He finds the ball here again. Bolduc on the run, tackled away, out of the box. And it looks like a set piece on the edge of the box. Or is it a throw-in? I think it will be a throw-in. Couldn't tell on the judgment on the arm from Encarnacion. Shot coming, a wishful one, closer to the upright. And out of play as Mangles looks to find a ball. He retrieves one. And there's that select ball settling in inside the box. Chattanooga trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. They have to hold on against Richmond. Keep in mind, Richmond also down to 10 men on that Troyer red card. Led to the PK in the first half. But they have been formidable in this second 45. You wouldn't even know it, that they're down a man. Chattanooga just trying to hold on here in these final 13 minutes. They've had so many chances from Mare alone off of Pineda. Just have not been able to convert number 3 on the night. Both teams with 10 shots, 4 on target for Chattanooga, 3 on target for Richmond, as Fitzgerald has to come out against Hurst and retrieve this ball. Tackle there as Bolduc continued his run, but a free kick. It'll be Chattanooga with a chance here to maybe cement this match. Pineda went down, tackled by Rodriguez, the captain. No look here at the replay here from David Stanton Field. You can see there not getting any of the ball. Rodriguez knew it as Pineda went down. Well, Lefty, the Brazilian, will stand over it. Has a goal tonight, maybe looking for an assist here. No, he will take it himself. Soto, and he'll work it to the right flank. 23 fouls combined tonight between the two squads as well. Look at the cards on the board. 5 of them total, 1 red. Caparelli flicks it on. Foul from behind by Hurst as Lockerbie went to the floor. And it's a restart by Richmond. Again, Richmond does have 2 comeback victories this season. Trying to make it 3 here today. No comeback draws, though. And once this year, Chattanooga did lose a match after taking the lead. Rodriguez will try out the right flank with Lockerbie. Wide open, the ball rolls as Lockerbie has to come back to retrieve it. Kickers threatening once again until that ball is lost. Back with Chattanooga. Stolen away on the double team. Hurst trying to get back to it. A foul is called against the Scotsman. And a free kick to Richmond. Final 10 minutes plus stoppage time from Chattanooga. Right now in favor of the Red Wolves. That's what they need to keep their playoff hopes alive another day. Foul called, another set piece for the Kickers. This time closer to the box as Dixon gave it up. Mawape wanting this service. Ball whipped in, and over all the heads there looking to threaten. A player down in the box, slow to get up. And a goal kick for Mangles. Substitution coming on. Jaimes will come on, the young forward from the Red Wolves organization. Off comes Josue Soto. Jaimes, this is the 4th appearance of the season for the Anaheim, California native. Previously with the Park City affiliate in Utah. Mangles drills it into the night here at the Chattanooga Christian School. Knocked up by Thompson. Jaimes' first touch up ahead. Still Jaimes. Hurst, left side, knocks it on. Jaimes, no stop by Margolis. He's had a few great stops here tonight. As he'll win the throw in there for the Kickers. Mullen dodging the challenge. Here's Caparelli. Lofting a wide open run by Hurst. And offsides, yes he is for the Scotsman. That's number 6 on the evening for Chattanooga. Fitzgerald sending this off. Again, we'll kick off week 28 in USL League One. And Richmond at City Stadium next week on Wednesday. 7 p.m. start between Richmond and Toronto. Foul the other way, you could see the handball there. Free kick, just like that, to Chattanooga. Mullen gets us going again. Chattanooga trying to burn out the final few minutes on the clock. Mare cuts it back, keeps it in play, but losing it in the process. Knocked down by Jaimes. Chattanooga pressing so far forward, trying to get this third goal. That went out of play. It's a throw-in for Chattanooga. Trying to keep the Fortress going here at home. They're 7-1-4 at home entering today. Here's our head coach, Beretta. Acting head coach for the last few matches with Tim Hankinson on a paid leave of absence. Mare losing the ball there. It's back to midfield. No one really up for Richmond though. Well, if he goes down, easy foul call against Charles Boateng, who had that stunner from the left side of the box. Ticking into minute 86, 2-1 Chattanooga. Their 2 first half goals standing true to this point. Pineda has almost had a couple of assists this evening. Mangles. Here's Hurst, knocks it on, but offsides, number 7. Greg Hurst very frustrated with that call.
That was an incredible touch. Open your eyes. Get in the game.
Richmond trying to keep their hopes alive in this match. They had that second half goal from Boateng. This one cleared by Dixon. Not too far though. Here comes Boateng into the box, goes down. Player down towards the box for Richmond, 2 of them. As we continue play, Jaime's up ahead. Pineda on the run. Greg Hurst trying to time a run on the left flank. Through ball ahead. Mare out there. Mare stopped in the end by Fitzgerald. Standing tall. That went off the head of the Chattanooga player. Advantage played in the end. Smart refereeing there by Encarnacion. And physicality continues here in the final few minutes. Boateng has a go and right into the arms of Mangles. So many chances in the last few moments. We take a look at Chattanooga's perfectly timed through ball. Mare trying to cut it back, but lost it going after it with his right foot, and Fitzgerald all over that one. Caparelli will take it back in on the near side. 2.5 minutes remaining, plus stoppage time, of course, here from David Stanton Field. Mare, quick turn, through ball up ahead. This will be onside, it looked like, but well too far there for his teammate. Richmond getting numbers forward. Stolen away by the Red Wolves. Floating up and out of play. Mangles getting the goal kick. Substitution coming in.
Substitution for the Richmond Kickers out of the game.
And for the Kickers, it will be Daniel Jackson adding to the offense late on here in the stead of Moape. Daniel Jackson, some heroics this season, of course, for Richmond. He's up to 4 goals, 1 assist this season.
Jaimes for the Chattanooga Red Wolves. The official yellow card brought to you by Kapperman White and McGarvey Eye Care. We fix foul vision.
Mangles the goal kick. Dixon the clearance. Foul called. One minute remaining until stoppage time, and we're hearing, at least for now, it could be quite a bit of stoppage time, so plenty left to play here for Richmond, trying to tie up this match. Ball off the downfield and into the arms of Mangles. Eleven shots tonight for Chattanooga, 5 on target, 12 for Richmond, 4 on target, including 3 in the second half. All the way through, McGallis will have to deal with this one, or as he did, let it on to Fitzgerald. Hit the 90-minute mark. We're into stoppage time. And it is 5 minutes here at David Stanton Field. Richmond back the other way, flicked on through. Caparelli swings at it, sends it up. Miss hit by Hurst. Back with Richmond. Here's Bolduc. Out of play, throwing for the Kickers.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth official has indicated there will be a minimum of 5 minutes of stoppage time here in the second half.
Ball lofted towards the box. Jackson heads it on. Back to Jackson. Holding up the play, but getting it past Boateng. They will control possession though. Richmond feeling something here. McGall is stepping up with the attack. Lines it up. Lockerbie on through, and the only one on the back end is Pineda. Throwing on the far side for Chattanooga. Walls. You see Chattanooga waiting for their final substitution as Richmond takes it the other way. Here come the Kickers, striking it and over the crossbar, just outside the frame for Riley Kraft. You could tell he wanted that one and took it all the way.
Stepping out of the game now for the Chattanooga Red Wolves, number 14, Mircea
A very
Pineda.
defensive sub coming here for Beretta. It will be Nicholas Mpanza on, the Ghanaian center back and formerly of Montego Bay United in Jamaica. It will be Pineda coming off, who probably should have had a few assists tonight. He was excellent in the attacking midfield in the second half. So now Chattanooga clearly trying to bunker in, take the last few minutes off the clock, and keep their playoff hopes alive with a win this evening. And Ponza getting his first touch with a headed clearance. Walefe, our first goal scorer this evening, setting it up. Hurst on the run. So is Lockerbie. It will be the VCU grad that gets there first. Back with Richmond. Here's Fitzgerald. Under 2 minutes remaining here in stoppage time. Headed on. Daniel Jackson with the pressure, but Mpanza handling it well just to kill time, send it out of play. Kraft. Ball lofted into the box. Bolduc there, headed away by Caparelli though, and he felt something there as he landed. Out of play, a corner kick here for Richmond at the death. Can the Kickers make the full comeback to equalize here in stoppage time? All the numbers forward in the white kit, including Fitzgerald, near post. Cleared away, another corner coming. Here come the Kickers. Ball sent in, headed back down. Fitzgerald off his line as this is cleared into the night. Richmond should recover this, as Boateng comes up with an empty net beside him. Here's Bolduc. Knocked on, back to Chattanooga. Will they survive another night? Trapped at the edge, throwing. Past our stoppage time at 5 minutes. All eyes on Encarnacion. Hurst, take it down from behind, a heavy challenge. Free kick to Chattanooga, and a yellow for the captain of Richmond, Maxi Rodriguez.
Yellow card issued to number 21, Maxi Rodriguez for the Richmond Kickers. Official yellow card brought to you as always by Captain White and McGarvey Eye Care.
Have to expect this is the final play of the match. Chattanooga looking to take this. Caparelli. Mare. Caparelli lofts it out of play. And there is the final whistle. Chattanooga survives another day. Their playoff hopes stay alive, and they put the pressure on Madison. 2-1 to the Red Wolves. Their 2 goals in the first half stand true. And Richmond headed home with no points in tow, as while FA got the scoring started. The initial PK and the second by Cito Sayone proving the difference. 2-1 to Chattanooga. Coming up, we'll check out our Transcard Man of the Match, and of course, full match highlights and stats. 2-1 to Chattanooga.
October 5th, your Chattanooga Red Wolves taking on Toronto.
Welcome back here into Chattanooga. 2-1 win for the Red Wolves. It began with Wall FA, and on the PK spot is where he put home his first goal of the season. He is your Transcard Man of the Match. A key part in this victory at home, keeping the playoff hopes alive. And now we check in with our full match highlights here from David Stanton Field. A whole lot of Chattanooga, and they just locked things down in the second half outside of some brilliance from Charles Boateng. Fans out in force. Second to last home match of the season for the Red Wolves. Fan Appreciation Night, of course, coming up next week against Toronto. It started with this tackle from behind, grabbing from behind by Troyer. He would be sent off on the red card right here as Pineda drew the foul inside the box, while FA stepped up to the spot and a beautifully taken PK, slotting it home to the right side by the Brazilian and putting up a side of 1-0 early on, and it would continue from there. The Red Wolves were hot outside of the first 5 minutes. A shot there from Greg Hurst getting his day started, but saved by Fitzgerald, who had a few stops on the night for the away side. Here's the second. Segura threw ball beautifully timed, and there was Cito Sayone putting it home at the near post. And that would be the game winner in the end, sealing it for Chattanooga at the end of the full 90, as Sayone celebrating his 6th of the season. Chances for Richmond, and what a sensational finish there by Charles Boateng. Watch this again on a platter from Moape, and Boateng slotting it home, his first in League One play as a Richmond kicker. Chattanooga would keep the attack coming. Multiple chances, Mare especially off the bench, and there was one singing on by from Walefe. Charles Boateng, heat check here. Another good go of things at Alex Mangles, who had a few great saves this evening. Chances for both sides at the end of the day. Chattanooga took a step back a bit more in the final 20 minutes. You can see they're trying to lock in and stop Richmond. Indeed, they did do that. They won 2-1 and keep their playoff hopes alive. 1 point back now of Madison, and they win for Chattanooga next week, along with a Madison draw or loss against Lansing. That'll lead to a Chattanooga berth into the playoffs. Here are the updated standings, and you can see there Chattanooga needing a win, and of course some help from a Madison result. I guess you could say some help from Lansing in that rivalry battle coming up next week, as Chattanooga again will host Toronto FC2 in their final home match. Fan Appreciation Night as well, coming up next Saturday, October 5th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Well, at least for now, thank you for joining us here for USL League One coverage on ESPN Plus. For our entire crew, I'm Chris Markowiak. Again, here at David Stanfield, Chattanooga keeps their playoff hopes alive with a 2-1 victory over Richmond, adding to the intrigue of Week 28, the final week in USL League One. We'll have it for you right here on ESPN Plus. Stay tuned Wednesday through Saturday for League One action.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.